Good morning, family. I hope everybody's doing good on this lovely Monday. Got the birds chirping, sun just gleaming. It's a good day, right? We start, of course, with the prayers, so I hope y'all praying. But I actually came on because I've actually been getting a specific download since last night. So last night I had my conversations with the Father, and he was talking to me about how many of the people in the world are having issues with like resisting him. Like they're having issues turning to him. As soon as they want to turn to him, they feel like, oh, I don't want to burden God. You can't burden God. But a lot of people think, oh, it's due to like I caused this issue, so I deserve to go through this, situation, and I can't turn to God and ask him for help with this or guidance because, I did this. So we got a lot of people who are, I want to call it self-sacrificing for the sake of them feeling guilt and shame. And that's terrible. So that I got last night before bed. This morning while I was getting myself ready, which when I wake up in the morning, my first hour to 2 hours is just silence. And that allows me to not only provide mental clarity, but to also receive downloads. And when I get downloads and prayers that I hear from others, that is not me tapping into how someone thinks now. That is me tapping into your higher self's thought patterns. I don't speak to low vibrational selves. Like I can really only feel your higher self and your higher being, like the person you are meant to become. That is what I'm tapping. I don't know why, but it's for somebody. Somebody needed me to explain that real quick. So I'm speaking to your higher self. That's who I can tap into. So when I look at people, for the most part, I don't see what you're doing now. I don't see bad behaviors, good behaviors. I don't look at things in terms of good and bad. I look at the journey. Everything's about the journey. I had to do my own journey. My journey ain't never gonna look like nobody else, and I don't expect anybody else's to. So that's the reason why I come from a place of non-judgment. You had to do what you had to do to get to where you are, and apparently that was a part of your contract to open you up to being able to turn back to the Lord the way you need to. So I feel like everybody's journey is going to be unique. Some people are going to struggle a little harder because they're going to make decisions that are going to dig them into a deep hole. The whole purpose is to climb out the hole with God by your side. That's the purpose, right? I digress, right? So I woke up this morning, and what I was hearing while I was, I did my prayer, Bible study, conversations with God, get myself ready so I could walk the dog. And what I heard was someone pretty much saying, oh, I should start going to church, but nah, like I don't belong in that place. And, oh, where am I supposed to go, like to start getting my life back together? And it's going to be too hard. So, maybe that's not for me. And of course, I just made me so sad because I'm a serious empath. So I was just like, oh my God, somebody's like really fighting with themselves. So I leave, walking the dog, and I was like, you know what, Lord, give me some music. Tell me where you want me to go with this, right? And the song that came on, and I keep my phone on shuffle. I'm gonna listen to music. It's gonna be on shuffle because the Lord loves talking through music. The song that came on was Bobby Valentino's "Slow Down." Now, those of you who know. That's an old song. I don't know where that song came from. It's not on any playlist I got. But yes. And of course, I had to think about the chorus because that's what stood out. It was the slow down. I just want to get to know you. And I was like, that's what it is. Okay. So now I'm going to get into the message, right? People are struggling with the idea of how to come to God because they don't feel worthy. They don't feel like they're deserving of the grace, the mercy, the guidance, the love that God is going to provide. They feel like they're not supposed to. And I understand that very much because the world has conditioned so many people to feel like to come to God, you got to come a certain way. Like, even little statements like, oh, she's shaking like a sinner in church. those statements turn the people who's supposed to be in the church and listen to the word away from it. Like, if the sinner's not in church, who in church? Because that's where y'all supposed to be. Even Jesus did not hang out with just his disciples and the people who he knew were already in his grace and were following him. That wasn't who he wanted. Who Jesus hung out with were the people who needed him. He hung out with the sick, with the poor, the infirm. He hung out with the people who were spiritually afflicted and who needed guidance, needed love. That's what it was about for Jesus. So when people make it seem like you can't turn to God because you've done too much. No. If you've done too much, you're the one who needs to turn to God. You're that person. And the reason is because that is what God has offered all of us. We came here to experience life. Like, so if you've made decisions that you would personally deem bad, or you would say have taken you off track, you did what you were supposed to do here. Now, the whole purpose now is, did you learn lessons from those things? Because doing it for no reason, that's why you'll just repeat, you just keep doing them. But when you learn the lessons from those situations, now you're doing something special. Now you're moving through life still. You may feel like you're stuck in the same position, but you're moving through life because you're moving through the lessons. You're teaching your soul. All right, my dog is agitated. He wants to do stuff. But I had to get this message out for y'all. I got y'all. Now, in the Bible, it says, come as you are. We got Isaiah 1:18. We got Matthew 11, verse 28. It's all over the Bible to come as you are. It even says the sacrifices of the Lord is that of a broken spirit and a contrite heart. That's what he wants. He wants you to be broken, to come to him, so that you know that when you turn into him and your life starts to go up, once you hit that rock bottom, you know that it's only through the grace of God. And you know just how real he is. We're living in a world where we've conditioned ourselves to think that we need to self-sacrifice. That if we've done things that we feel like are terrible, that we are deserving of all the bad things that come afterward. And that's not necessarily true. Sometimes we do things because we're in survival mode. The best way I can describe it is not every murder is on the same spectrum. If you broke into my house and you're victimizing, everybody in the house, and I happen to protect myself, like, granted, it would still be deemed murder, if you did something like that. But it's different when you are doing it in the name of protection and love of others. So not everything falls on the same spectrum. People may frown upon some of the deeds some people do, but you don't know what it was like for that person if they were very alone and they had no one to rely on, and they felt like the only way to get by was to do specific deeds because survival mode, their ego, that's what it showed them was necessary. The Lord is calling for all of us to turn back to him. All of us. Now. Not later, not now. Like, that is the biggest factor, is that a lot of people think that they have time. I'm going to talk about this on a whole nother video, but that is the biggest scheme of the enemy, is I'll do it tomorrow. That statement right there, that you have time to come back to God. Good morning. And you don't. You don't. There is no time to turn to God but today, because if you are waiting, tomorrow's not guaranteed to you. It doesn't matter how young you are. We've seen children go. Tomorrow's not promised. So since tomorrow's not promised, today is the only guarantee that you have. Sorry, my dog sees his homies and we got to cross the street now. But I'm pretty much done. I just wanted to make sure I got that across. Like, turn to God. Open that Bible. Find you some family and find you some love. All right? Be like the pups. Be like the pups. happy. All right, I'm gonna leave this one right here. Feel free to comment. I love you all and have a blessed day.